Hey, Matt.
Oh, hey, Nick.
Dude,
Our thighs are touching.
our thighs are touching. We're here again.
We are. We're here again.
Horse Mantis Unlimited.
Right. Horse Mantis Unlimited. We are here. A lot of stuff has happened.
Dude,
Things.
wow.
Right. Well, a lot of stuff this week so far.
Yeah,
Been kind of a dark week.
very, very dark. Before we delve into that darkness,
Yes.
just want to watch you finish your LaCroix there. And
I can't. I'm so used to
Oh,
not
our
being
thighs
able
are
to drink.
touching,
Our
yeah.
thighs are touching. I think I'll have a spritzer.
So, we did it.
Yep. That's a thing.
We got a... Let's just start light this episode, you know?
Yeah, because there's enough.
I finally
stuff going on.
got my hands on the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. Dude,
buddy.
let's unbox this.
Let's do it. So we're gonna crack this thing open.
And all of its gloriousness.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting. I
So
actually picked
glorious.
this up on Friday.
Yeah, but you
Haven't
opened it.
I've been saving this one as the mic.
God, your skin poles are in the way. I mean, your
All right.
arms.
Well,
But
this looks
now
this
that
looks-
looks legit.
pretty legit, doesn't it?
So you got this from an actual retail store, right? So
Yeah. In fact, this was a hard one to get, Matt.
Mhm.
Right
I
place,
know.
right time.
I know.
Yeah. Manipulation. No.
Well, maybe a little bit.
So have you already? These are already up for $250.
Yeah. My manager tonight sold
Look how
his.
cute.
It's adorable. Look at this, so adorable. And then you have to open that little door to plug the
that's
yeah.
right.
I know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
That
but,
kind of sucks. I wish they'd have just. But it looks.
Look at that.
It looks like the real thing.
Right
I mean,
on.
but it's just tiny.
I do want to take a look at the controller here. Oh,
See,
man.
no,
Wow.
that's the real deal. That's a genuine article. I
Ba-boom.
was stoked about those because that was, the first upgrade to Nintendo in my childhood. Was the Super Nintendo.
Right,
What an amazing console.
dude.
So
It smells so good.
yeah. So that's it.
That's it.
So this has a bunch of games and crap on it. You haven't played it yet, so you're
I haven't
doing
played
that.
it.
Yep.
This one has 21 games.
21 games.
21 games. Contra 3, gotta have it. Donkey Kong Country, gotta have it.
Link to the Past.
Dude, yeah. Final Fantasy 3.
Super Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
Can't say I ever played Super Metroid.
I did on a ROM, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was interesting.
What was the Final Fantasy title on
Dude,
there?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's exciting. For
The
you.
only thing I know the community has already gone over this, but Chrono Trigger not on here. It's kind of weird.
See, yeah, and I didn't. No.
You know.
Hey, but you get extra stuff from Firefox.
That's right.
Great. Star Fox.
So how you doing, Matt?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing
Dude.
pretty good, all things considered. People that have died in the last week. Hugh Hefner,
Wow. Yeah.
who helped me get a lot of boners when
Sure.
I was younger.
There you go.
I never got boners because
Personally,
I never found him attractive. But,
Yeah,
but for
me
some
neither.
people,
I think
Oh.
the first time I saw Playboy, like 12 or 13, I was never like, wow, good job, Hef. Anyway,
to me, I have a huge box full of.
I have a huge boner.
Yeah, how many euphemisms can I fit into this into like a couple seconds? I have a huge box full of like classic Playboys, like old Playboy,
Okay.
like first couple decades.
Sure. And not naming any names, I do, I work with a fella, and he was like, he was kind of, I wouldn't say devastated, but he was like, main difference, dude, Playboy is big because you take any other magazine, and Playboy is classy. That's what he said.
If you can say that, I think that's fair. There is an element of class there that was not that. Well, I mean that they were kind of pioneers of that, and a lot of people will argue that Hugh Hefner helped breed toxic masculinity, and to that I'm going to say,
Dude, you're a guy, right?
I'm a dude.
Yeah.
And I turned out just fine.
Yeah.
I'm not upset about what I used to, masturbate to when I was 12. Doesn't make me a shitty person.
No. Sure.
Doesn't make me part of the problem. It just means when I was 12, Playboy was the first thing I got my hands on. Well,
or was it? Contraire month.
Second thing, it depends on how the day goes, I guess.
I was picking my nose.
Right, but yeah, okay, yes, maybe, I don't know. I don't even feel like it's. I guess you can hammer down on anybody after they've died if you want to. And
Yeah, Tom
Tom Petty
Tom Petty,
died,
dude.
and
Wow.
I'm sure people are. Good luck finding anything bad about Tom Petty, though. I feel like that's the one thing the internet's not going to ruin for me this week.
Right.
Tom Petty. So the only thing that did almost ruin it is they reported him dead before he was actually dead.
Yeah. The reporting was.
But what would you? I was thinking about this. I was like, which reporter would you rather be? Would you rather be the one that said he was dead and he was still alive, or would you rather be the reporter that reported when he actually died?
That's
a tough question.
Be a
Either one. Well, exactly. That's why we're not reporters.
Right.
I mean, that's
reporting now live on Horse Mantis.
right, but it's recorded.
Yeah,
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad to see Tom Petty go. I think Wildflowers was probably my favorite album. Wildflowers itself was a great song, but Wildflowers is easily my favorite album from him. Just the time it came out, I was right at the peak of almost the zenith of my drug, my drug and alcohol mixing.
Okay.
Was at a zenith, and so I always liked his voice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot of times where I probably modeled my speaking voice a little bit after his.
Coming around here in a moment.
Yeah, without the Western twang. Yeah, but definitely going to be missed. Yeah. And he is actually finally dead now, so we can all the stuff came out.
Do I feel guilty that I was like, is Tom Petty really dead in Google?
No, because really you were right to have that thought because it was reported earlier in the afternoon yesterday. And this is timestamp. I say timestamp anytime we talk about anything that happened yesterday, just so you know what yesterday was.
Yeah, well, and rolling on this train, I guess.
We
can't not talk about it.
Oh, right.
The greatest,
Well, right. The worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on it because it's really not for us to. This isn't what we do, and we don't live in Vegas. We are humans, though, and I think we could both agree that maybe I guess my big hope in all this is that something get done about maybe enforcing our gun laws or toughening them up a little bit. I realize they're out there, and there's a lot of I'm broadly addressing this because we don't normally get real political on here, but it's hard not to when you're human. I think that we need to reevaluate the laws we have in place and look at, are they enforceable? If they're not enforceable, then we need new laws. That's my problem. We live in a society that values gun ownership, so we're not going to get rid of the guns,
right?
But that doesn't mean we give up. What we need to do is find a way to live better in a society like this where gun ownership is a thing that's not going away, and it's not, and it's protected by the Constitution to a degree. So that's not going away. We're not going to cut up the Constitution, obviously, but maybe it's time for some gun law reform. I think we could agree on that. Obviously, it's terrible news. I would hate to I would hate to be any of those families affected by this right now. No
doubt.
I think somebody somewhere important needs to stand up and say something about and get something done about this.
Dude, yeah.
For once.
Fair enough.
So,
absolutely. And other worse news. Things.
Right, other horrible news. The worst Kickstarter movie campaign in history finally got made. And you can actually watch this on YouTube. And I know this is kind of a weird way to bounce from that to ha ha ha. But seriously, Kate Allen is Getting a Life is exactly what we thought it would be. So this is a Kickstarter. I mean, just walk me through the paces here, Nick.
Okay.
This is so great.
So, 4 years ago, Los Angeles writer/producer/director Linda Stewart Grace Kickstarter with crowdfunding project that impressed, it seemed, nobody. Haha. This comes to us
well, it didn't, because how long ago did it get started?
It was 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. She was asking for $5 million
to make a movie called Kate Allen is Getting a Life.
Yeah.
She promised B-list stars. Thora Birch. You remember, was she an American Beauty?
I don't even know who that is.
No, she wasn't. I don't know who Thora Birch is.
I don't know who.
Heather Matazzaro? You didn't know?
Nope, I don't.
Jennifer Elise Cox?
No.
No.
So
what type of movie was this?
The kicker for me, after reading this, was this raised $243.
$243. Yeah. Like, you could have I mean, that's not... Wow. What? $243.
You know?
And, like, I gotta feel like one of her aunts or something.
Oh, you know it.
Oh,
it's just like...
Yeah. It's the worst
Anonymous,
Kickstarter movie campaign in history. But, so, the movie's been made. It's 26 minutes long. It was up on YouTube. It's gone now, but...
Yeah. The movie is uploaded.
It says the credit roll at the end, hence a iMovie, and the music...
No, it's uploaded at 420p, which is the same output actually as the original Wii outputs.
Right, or like a smartphone from like
that's
8 years ago.
God, it's so funny.
It is. So that's a thing. If you want to look it up and see,
it's on the internet.
It got made though.
It did, and this creepy fake town has kind of been made through the internet. I love that you shared this with me. I'm big on...
I thought you would like this a lot.
Dude, creepypastas, all the Slender Man, the Sonic the Hedgehog.
Right, and so this was very much one of those things that I saw, and I thought, Nick will really appreciate this, because this sounds like a video game about to happen.
Dude.
That's Silent Hill, right?
Pretty much. I mean, pretty much you got it going on, or like Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
And of course it's in Northwest England.
They should have put that on the Super Nintendo Classic.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Why didn't that make it?
Anyway.
God, we're just going to get angry as this episode goes on, thinking about all the games that didn't include.
Yeah, so there's a town, right? The town of Scarfolk, Matt.
Mm-hmm. In Northwest England.
Is it in Northwest England?
It is. Or is it?
Or is it? So this is kind of like a creepypasta sort of thing. It's a town that exists because the internet exists.
Right.
I feel like it's a oasis for all the weird creative types that are into this sort of like grotesque, dark.
Right, but it's great. So here's what happened in 1978. This town cut its police budget in half. The drastic measure was followed by a wave of violent crime. To deal with the influx of dead bodies, the remaining police did the obvious thing. They teamed up with the Keep Britain Tidy campaign. Why don't they ever have any like dental health campaigns in Britain? You always say okay.
That was part of the campaign, but the decay,
right?
Just made its way into the mouths. Something like that.
Right, and encourage citizens, especially children, to pick up victim debris themselves. So
be a part of your country.
Hey! If this sounds too grotesque to be true, don't worry, it is. Yes. So this actually happened. There were never any smiling appendage-finding kids in Scarfolk because Scarfolk never existed. But the town's online presence is meticulously detailed and impressively creepy. So it's it lives because of the internet.
Right. It's a playground for Richard Lidler that started this. He's a graphic designer.
Yeah,
and he was kind of intrigued by the supernatural, and
which I think I am as well.
Well,
and hey, all right,
welcome back.
Yeah. So anyhow, pretty cool. And there's all this literature and stuff. So this guy with his design stuff has gone in, and it's just great. There's posters.
It's wonderful.
A poster from a Scarfolk Council anti-people campaign. I love it. We should have more anti-people.
A little toy called Mr. Liverhead.
Warning, people are dangerous. If you know any people, report them at once to the authorities. Super creepy. So if you're bored one day and need something to just sink your time into, this is Scarfolk England.
So
give her a gander.
Give her a gander. You should give Three Americans a quick gander.
Oh man, give them a gander. This was a big story this week. So Three Americans win 2017 Nobel Prize in Medicine for research on circadian clocks.
Circadian clock. That's the thing that kind of keeps us right. Oh, I need to crash. I need to wake up. Is that correct? Kind of a daily. When do I need to function? Right.
It is pretty much, yeah.
So
that's kind of cool, which is unfortunate because I was actually, the first time I read this, I read circadian clock, and I was thinking about cicadas. Admittedly, that's kind of why I sent this, because initially I read it as cicadas, but then once you send something, you can't unsend it.
That's right.
So this is cool though. So what they did,
So these three dudes. I thought it was interesting. They go into like who the winners are.
Mm-hmm.
But the more interesting thing is these tests were conducted on fruit flies.
Circadian rhythms.
What?
Yeah.
And they've actually, this is kind of a breakthrough because this sort of testing has been done in the past with plants, you know, cutting plants off from light. But these plants and these flowers will still pod and open up, you know, during the according time of the day. So this is kind of interesting to see that. Oh,
wow, this is really cool. So they're self-regulating is what they found.
Right.
So these internal clocks are self-regulated.
Absolutely.
So in other words, every person has their own internal, like,
you know, that instinct to just like eat, you know, swim.
Right.
It's so this clock is part of that.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
I was hoping they'd work cicadas into this though, really. To be honest with you, because I got stoked thinking about like the this has nothing to do with cicadas.
You know, but it's pretty cool that, you know, the Nobel Prize, you know, in medicine is handed out to 3 American dudes.
3 American dudes.
Right on.
I mean, usually all we're good at is locking people up. So, incarceration, right? That's our big thing. Hey, there was... So, we're not going to... We already talked about Hef.
Yeah.
If you want to find more stuff about him. Right. Here's something else that I thought was kind of interesting. Objects of intrigue.
Dude, brought to us from Heidelberg, Germany.
Of course.
I was just there 4 years ago.
16th century Rocket Cats.
Dude, Rocket Cats.
That's a great band name. 16th century Rocket Cats.
Absolutely.
I mean, are people still using like cool band names?
Right. They find these like cool manuscripts from the 16th century. That have cats. And birds.
But the bird thing actually...
Birdman.
Like, you're a bird. Why do you need a jetpack? This shit is stupid.
Well,
but then I read, and did you read this?
I skimmed it.
Ah, okay. So there's these manuscripts and these
like
drawings.
Like a deer poop, little skim.
Hey, fair enough. I skim things too. Not milk though.
Skim milk.
Always whole milk.
I had to say it.
I knew you would. So
marijuana.
Yeah. We're doing that.
Ein Schuld mit Steiner.
Right. So these damn rocket animals. There are these drawings of like cats with like jetpacks, and I mean they're pretty crude looking jetpacks. The artist clearly, even in the 16th century, didn't know what the fuck he was drawing. But
you know,
either way, so you have these cats and birds with jetpacks, and again, the bird with jetpack thing kind of it left me a little befuddled because I'm like, they already can fly. Why would you do that? That's like putting more wheels on a car or something,
you know,
or like another car that helps drive the car. It's like, why would you do this? But there's a reason.
A cat with a jetpack.
There's a reason for this though. They actually did some these manuals. These are from explosives and warfare manuals from back in the day, for back in the 16th and 17th century. So these were ideas on how, and the color illustrations are beautiful. It's beautiful. Jeez.
Kamikaze pussy.
Yeah. Wow. Definitely. That is on fire.
Oh.
Are there rockets involved in all the text accompanying the images? There's a section titled "To Set Fire to a Castle or City Which You Can't Get At Otherwise." So these were possible ideas for utilizing.
Whole nother meaning to the Trojan horse.
Right. So they didn't have pets back then. They used animals as bombs. Boom. Yeah. So, but I like this quote: "Create a small sack like a fire arrow. Bind the sack to the back of the cat." Now, clearly, they never tried this. Have you ever tried to tie anything to a cat? Let alone a fire sack?
You don't want me to answer that. Next time on Horus Mantis.
We'll do it next time. Marijuana.